I want us to really think as a people, as a culture, like why we may gravitate more towards something that is drama filled or low vibrational, as you put it, instead of, gravitating towards something that could potentially elevate you or change your life or impact your life in a good way, a positive way.
Environment, bro. Environment. And you got to want to change. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. So clearly people ain't sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Bruh.
Nah, I really don't know, bro. That is something that we need to figure out, though.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore. And we are the Residual Impact Podcast.
Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then apply to the community.
Let's grow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Back for another one, my friend. You already know what time it is. Shout out to each and every single one of you guys who are tapped into the podcast right now. We greatly appreciate it. And listen, we are approaching the end of the year. We still have at least 1 or 2 more episodes to bang out before the year is over. So stick with us. But first, we got to get through this one because, man, a lot has been going on. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for tuning into this episode so far. Again, like always, we greatly appreciate it. Y'all can be listening to anybody else right now, but you're listening to us. Also, we want to say, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss when we upload a new video. Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up because it's absolutely free to do. It goes a long way. It helps push us through the algorithm. And don't forget to drop a comment as well. Each and every single one of those things that I mentioned pushes us through the algorithm. And of course, if you love our content, I'm sure other people are going to like it or love it as well. And for all of you who are listening to us on the many platforms that are out there, all the DSPs, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the list goes on and on and on, right? Please make sure you leave a review on your respective platform because that will also help push us through the algorithm. And if you like our show, if you love our show, chances are other people are going to love it too. So make sure you support your favorite content creators, and we greatly appreciate it. And of course, hey, the holidays is here. Mike's birthday just passed. My birthday's coming up. If you feel so inclined to do so, drop a little something in the Cash App for the pod. You know what I'm saying? That'll definitely help us to improve the scenery, get us in maybe even more equipment, I guess I would say, get us more equipment, help to improve the show because, hey, we're here for y'all. So support your favorite content creators. I will say that, brother.
For sure, for sure.
What you got for the people, man? Welcome back.
Nothing really special right now. I mean, right now we're just trying to finish off the year strong, stay focused, being grateful and just figuring out ways to be better. I would say that's the main focus. This year has went by pretty fast in a sense.
Boy, did it.
And a lot has happened, so,
That is true. And we will actually cover that in the next episode. So stay tuned because we will talk about it. But until then, I know we haven't, we recorded recently, but I know we haven't really talked so much about, everything that's been going on with us recently. So I will say, how was your week, man?
Man, my week has been pretty good. Nothing really out of the ordinary that has happened. Just, I just appreciate every day. Every day is a good day. If I'm being honest, it might not be perfect every day, but every day is a good day. Like, I really do feel good about each day. Still working towards something great on this entrepreneurial journey. It is scary. It takes a lot of faith, but it's teaching me. And I think that, in the end we'll we'll be grateful for every sacrifice that we made. I will say that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Fair enough. For real.
Been cool. What about you?
Well, of course, Mike, you already know, but the people who are listening and watching don't know. But we recently went to a coffee tasting event, which was actually pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? We got the invite from two of our favorite podcasters. Shout out to Miss April B and Chanel Simone of the Flew Here, Grew Here podcast.
Major shout out.
For real. If you guys aren't familiar with Flew Here, Grew Here, we definitely had them on the show before. I believe it was episode 65. It was entitled New York versus Everybody. So if you guys haven't listened to that episode yet, please be sure to go back and watch that episode or listen to that episode after you have listened to this one. Because if you don't know about those two ladies yet, you will find out about them in that episode. And let's just say the event was pretty good, man. I definitely had a good time.
Me too.
Networking with different people, putting the podcast out there, you know, making some new contacts and tasting some delicious coffee and having some great food with it.
That was definitely, my vibes. I realized depending on the type of event, you know, I'm always not so talkative and social, but you put me around some coffee.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? I'm good. You see, I was in my element. I was in my element, bro.
You were.
But you know, it just depends on the type of vibes. But yeah, you definitely put me in that coffee shop vibes. Oh, I'm good. I can maneuver.
As this man claims, he is a coffee connoisseur.
You know what I mean? I love it. Y'all invite me out to the next one. I'm definitely pulling up.
I'll be there as well because that one, oh man, even though I kind of burnt my taste buds off with one of them coffees, it was still delicious, but it was just too hot for me personally.
I got to get me some more. Actually, I got to order. Not more, but I got to order some.
I definitely have to order some. And I look forward to that because the coffee was pretty delicious.
For sure.
But other than that, man, life has just been lifing, and I'm still alive.
Sure.
I woke up, got to see another day, which I'm grateful for. And, just praying that I continue to see many more, man, because I know we have a lot ahead of us.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to living that stuff out, man, and continuing to make an impact.
Consistency. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking
of hot, though, I know them boys still hot on your boy Young Thug, though, because he locked up. They ain't letting him out.
First of all, I want to say pause.
They ain't letting him out.
Second of all, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
They hot. What you mean? You talking about that? I'm like hot as in like, hot as a firecracker, like the heat on them.
I get it. But I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
bruh.
I'm just
bruh.
I'm just saying. First of all, pause, right? Second,
and he has a song hot. Literally.
I get it. I understand. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh my goodness.
But hey, worse has been said on this show.
That's a fact.
We know that for a fact. Worse has definitely been said on this show. All right. I might have been reaching a tad, but for those of you guys who think I wasn't reaching, I just want to put that out there. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, man.
Yes. And it's crazy because it's just a trying time, yo. Like, it's a trying time for so many people, including Young Thug. As some of you guys may know, his trial started recently after the date got pushed back for so long. Like, that man's been locked up for how long?
In a minute.
It had to be a little more than a year, right?
Oh, yeah. It's over a year.
So, that man been locked up for a minute in the Fulton County Jail and just awaiting trial. And the trial has recently started as of, I think, early December. And I haven't been watching it, to be honest. I will keep it a buck and say I haven't been watching it. I haven't really been looking at too many of the updates, but I have noticed a few things, of course, stuff that was circulating around social media that I thought was kind of interesting to point out. First things first, I know with all of this talk about, getting hit with a RICO recently, like so many people have been trying to avoid getting hit with a RICO so that they don't end up like Young Thug and his associates. So people are essentially cleaning up their act. Before I get to the people outside of Young Thug and his camp, YSL, I do want to continue talking about this case. Starting with Young Thug's lawyer. Have you heard what the lawyers said YSL stood for, or even what Thug and Young Thug's name stood for?
Nah, but I bet he made it good though.
Listen, I'm just going to go ahead and play these clips, and I want you guys to listen to it, and y'all let me know what you think, okay? Because I highly doubt, I'm just going to get to it. We'll talk about it afterwards. So according to the lawyer, this is what YSL stands for, or this is where the name YSL comes from.
YSL, when Jeffrey was coming up and making it, Lil Wayne had and repped, talked about Cash Money Records. That's his label. Jeffrey's friends in Cleveland Avenue, they call themselves YSL. Because on the pants, the tight-fitting pants, the women's pants that they're wearing, it says YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. That's where that comes from.
Do you believe that?
I mean, it's not about what you believe, it's about what you can prove in court.
Bruh, you got a point. But I'm just asking you personally, because we're not in the courtroom now.
Come on. Let's be real. Yeah, let's be real. Okay. Now, no. I don't think that was his initial thoughts for making it. Probably now, yeah. It means that now.
Yeah, I can kind of see that now. But I definitely don't believe that that's where it comes from, or that's what it even means.
Nah, bro.
Of course, okay. I will say that I believe that it has roots in that brand. Kind of like how, when I was younger, and I might be dating myself right now, or aging myself, I should say. When I was younger, I remember people used to rock this clothing brand called Mecca. And there was, spelled MECCA. And somebody told me when I was growing up that Mecca was essentially used by a set of Bloods, I think in the Hempstead area, because of course, I'm from New York. But in the Hempstead, Long Island area, people who wore Mecca were usually Bloods, and they made it stand for murder every Crip child alive is what they were talking about.
Hell no, I didn't know too much about that one. Never heard of that.
Yeah, so that was that could have just been a northern thing, but yeah, it was a clothing brand called Mecca.
Wow.
So yeah, people just be making stuff up, like YSL, the clothing brand, Yves Saint Laurent, but we know YSL is standing for something different. But hey, that could be their roots, that could be their origin.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? We weren't there.
Clever verbiage though in court.
Hey, like you said, it's not about what you believe, but what you can prove.
Yes, sir.
So that's true. Also, this is something else because it just had me cracking up. Shout out to Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele. Brian Steele was talking about, the next thing was pushing P, right? There was a picture that was thrown up in the courtroom. I believe that maybe they were trying to use that as evidence against Young Thug, and he was throwing up a sign. Now, according to his lawyer, Brian Steele, this is what that sign actually stood for. Y'all watch this.
This. It's on Jeffrey's Instagram account. And the prosecution is targeting, that's Jeffrey taking a selfie in the mirror, and he has his hand up, and the indictment that the prosecution had the grand jury return says he's holding up a blood sign, and that furthers this conspiracy. There's nothing wrong with holding up a blood sign, but that's not a blood sign. A blood sign is like this, it looks like a B. That is a P. Jeffrey's fingers are down. And what you'll learn is that Jeffrey just released with Sergio Kitchens, performer known as Gunna, a song that is wildly popular. It's around the globe. It's called Pushing P. And it's positivity. It means any circumstance you're in, if you think positively about something, you can make it through. You're pushing positivity. You're pushing P. Jeffrey is showing the P. It's not a B. But that became, from the district attorney's office in Fulton County, from the City of Atlanta Police Department, a reason that furthers this supposed conspiracy. That's the evidence that they're showing.
So what do you think about that, man? I remember when the song Pushing P went viral and it was like everywhere. It was always on the radio. It was always on TikTok or Instagram or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on what
they ain't say positivity? I tell you that. Nah, I don't remember that in the song.
I don't remember that in the song either. Even though I can't admit that I have not listened to the song that many times, but it was tough to start my car and then the radio turns on and that song wasn't playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was hard to avoid that song.
I just know that's a stretch. I just don't remember positivity in there. So, that was a good one. Good try. Good try.
And the most notable that stood out to me, it was just, I really had to laugh at this one. Shout out again to Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele. He talked about what Thug actually stood for in Young Thug's name. Now, you and I, we're part of the culture. We from the community, you know what I'm saying? When we hear the word thug, what first comes to mind?
Somebody from the streets.
Just somebody from the streets?
I mean, yeah, or somebody, I think somebody that robs you, honestly, if I think of a thug. Yeah. Just think of somebody that will rob you.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair enough assessment. You know what I'm saying? I think about the similar things, if not the same thing. Exactly.
Thug.
Like thug is somebody who,
want to be hard.
Down for anything, you know what I'm saying? From the hood. Could be a dude, could be a girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? They thuggish no matter what. Like they got a certain look to them, a certain demeanor.
Yeah.
They about that action. They could rob you. Anything else. Like they thuggish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I think about when I hear the word thug. But let Young Thug's lawyer tell it. This is what Thug allegedly meant to Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug. Check this out.
But to Jeffrey, thug had a different meaning. Now, some of you read books about Tupac and what it meant to be thug life. Thug life, the hate you give little infants, F's, everyone. Meaning discrimination and racism hurts all of us. We teach that to our kids. That was not what thug meant to Jeffrey. Thug meant and means to Jeffrey something very personal. It was his path that if he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be truly humble under God. That's what thug means.
Two things. First things first, I want to say,
stop the cap.
Secondly, I want to say, that boy good.
Yeah. He getting paid a lot of money.
He is good at what he does and what he comes up with.
Yep.
You can tell he's getting that bread.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. I mean, but you got to think about it, too. Like, I know it sounds crazy to us, but they pick these jurors and people who don't have any really connection to the music and who he is, so they probably will believe some of the stuff he's coming up with. Like, they don't know Young Thug.
That's a point. Yeah, that's definitely a point that you've made. However, another thing that you just kind of reminded me of is the fact that there were cameras in the courtroom, and one of the cameras accidentally picked up some of the jurors and showed their faces and all of that stuff.
Hey y'all, super quick update on the YSL trial. I've been watching actively. The first expert witness was called by the state. He's a gangs expert from the City of Atlanta Police Department. There was supposed to be a 10-minute break. It turned into like a couple hours. And as it turns out, Law and Crime mistakenly showed on video the first row of jurors, and people started to identify them. And then No Jumper turned around and posted a screenshot of that video. And apparently some of the jurors may or may not have been identified, but the judge took all the attorneys in the back, and they had a very long, discussion. Nobody was sure about what was going to happen, but we're back. And the crosses continue, with the judge requesting that the media not record the remainder of that officer's testimony.
No matter what, that footage is on the internet forever. People have circulated that footage like so many times. They've shared it. They've commented on it. They've named names. I think the Shade Room reposted it. Spiritual Word, I think, reposted it. I know No Jumper reposted it and stuff like that. I think No Jumper were the first ones to do it because people started naming people, and I'm just like, what?
I don't know about that one. I guess somebody gonna get in trouble. I don't know. We'll see.
So that's really all I know about the case that's happening with Young Thug. I mean, I definitely know very little compared to everything that's going on with Diddy. It's just a lot, bro. It's a lot that's been going on.
It's all gonna be allegedly, but you get enough people saying some things, something got to be something. That's what I say. But then again, you probably got some people reaching, but I think there's some truth aligned in there probably somewhere.
Allegedly.
Before I say anything, this is allegedly. Ain't nobody gonna catch me slipping, okay? Okay. So allegedly, Cassie has turned over evidence to the feds. Yes, to the feds. She has turned over videotapes, a USB drive, and Kim Porter's burner phone. Now, there is also an alleged email out saying a plethora of other things that include TD Jakes with Diddy. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. I'm not finna say nothing else.
Says here, yo bro, Cassie has turned over substantial amounts of evidence to the feds. I'm told that after Cassie had a long conversation with Blank, I have to protect this person. They're going through a lot right now. And her lawyers, she finally was convinced to give up the videotapes and audio recordings that contain footage of S parties and other private gatherings that feature some pretty powerful and prominent people. And get this, she even gave up a burner phone and USBs that belong to Kim Porter with incriminating evidence against Diddy. I'm told that there are a slew of artists, politicians, and entertainers that are about to be exposed and arrested for H10. I'm paraphrasing there, okay? H10. I'm told that Cassie's husband played a significant role in getting Cassie to turn over the evidence. It's to my understanding that Cassie felt that by exposing the truth, it would also make her look like a filthy Moor, and I'm paraphrasing there, because some of the videos she turned in, it shows her getting number one, okay guys, I'm paraphrasing again, and committing more disgusting acts that she was forced to do. I'm also told that multiple male escorts corroborated the fact that TD Jakes have slept with multiple men at Diddy's parties and abroad, and they refer to him as being a power bottom. Wow. It's also been said that a young male has acquired a lawyer to represent him as he is set to sue Jakes for an incident that took place when he was just years old. It's been said that the young man was forced to perform sloppy toppy, and I'm paraphrasing here, guys. You can actually put two and two together to understand what I'm trying to say. It's been said that the man's family were members of the Potter's House, but left the church in 2015. According to multiple church insiders, the parents were paid off to keep quiet. The guy's a grown man now and is seeking his own justice. It's been said that the young man doesn't even deal with his parents even to this day because they took hush money. According to Pastor Blank, and I have to protect this pastor, Bishop Jakes is about to get railroaded and all of his dirt will be exposed. That's why the bishop has quietly lawyered up. He sees his fall from grace coming.
Just don't look good for nobody. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Hollywood is being turned upside down. Jeffrey Epstein's list is going to come out. If this is actually true, this list is going to come out, and we already know TD Jakes is caught up with the other shit, allegedly being the person that is messing with Christian Keys. Everybody's saying it's either allegedly TD Jakes or allegedly Tyler Perry. It's either one of them. But oh my God, if this is true, buckle up, because next year, 2024, y'all better get y'all bingo cards out, because it's gonna get real.
I don't think all is true, but some of it may be. I don't think all of it is, but some of it, there might be some truth to it.
I don't know, just like all this stuff that's just been coming out is just crazy to me. I mean, I'm sure it's crazy to Diddy too, because he recently came out and made a statement as of December 6, 2023. He said, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Combs.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Like I said, I do think some people, you got some people that are reaching,
Yeah.
but you know, you got all these people coming out of nowhere. Something ain't something. And so
Something ain't something, man.
you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I feel you on that. It's just crazy because like recently, as I was thinking about these things to kind of like talk about and update the people on, Diddy and Cassie were trending on Twitter, and the tweets were just going wild. Or excuse me, X, which I just want to refer to it as that once. Like I don't think I'll ever really refer to it as X again. Like it's Twitter.
oh yeah.
But there's definitely other people out there who have been avoiding legal trouble as best as they possibly could. And I know of at least two who have made, the forefront because they've been circulating around all of social media. The first one, I will say, it kind of just caught me off guard, but French Montana. Now, this man allegedly broke down the supposed acronym COKE in his group name Coke Boys, right? And this is according to Say Cheese. And they put excuse me. They put out that French Montana says Coke in his crew's name means creations of kings everywhere. Has nothing to do with any illegal activities or any weight that they might have moved back in the day.
I mean, I don't know. I never heard the song or anything like that, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a song. Like, that's just his clique. Like, everybody has their clique. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You look back in the day, like, Rockefeller Records. Like, everybody, it's The Rock. And then, eventually they became Rock Nation. Rock Boys in the building tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did he have Bad Boy? French Montana, even though he was a part of Bad Boy, he had the Coke Boys. Again, allegedly, creation of kings everywhere. Do you believe that?
Oh, of course not. I mean, of course not. That's clever, though. That was a pretty good one. But of course not. No, not at all. But that was good, though. Like I said, that was good.
You know what? I don't believe it either. I really don't.
Nah.
I will say the French, if this is all true, if he actually said this, man.
Stop the cap.
Because I definitely think it is cap. Yo, you need to cut that out. But hey, people are trying to avoid Ricos. I'm guessing they seeing what's going on with Young Thug. They
Rightfully so.
definitely seen what's happened with Jamie Foxx recently, and how he was alleged to have done something with a young woman. I think back in the early 2000s or the late 90s or something like that. I mean, it's just so much stuff is coming out about certain people now, and I guess certain celebrities are trying to protect themselves and kind of like backtracking a lot of the stuff that they've said or potentially done. Another person who I've seen actually kind of do this was Fat Joe. Now, I don't even want to talk about what he said or, what was going on in this interview. I'll just let you guys listen to it and then we can talk about it afterwards. So check this out.
I've been rapping professionally for 30 years. I've lied in almost 95% of my songs. I'm being honest. Lied.
Lied how? What do you
just
mean?
go. I write like I feel that day. I'm just being creative. If you could probably you couldn't build the jail high enough for the lyrics I've said on songs, which are all untrue. What I am is a family man, the person who gives back to my community all the time, open businesses in my community. So the music would never amount to the actual person, Joseph Cartagena.
Also, along with that, there was a tweet that was put out and Fat Joe said, "They call me Joey Crack because the crack of my ass show whenever I stand up. Girls in my hood gave me that name. It was never because the drug crack. God is great." So then somebody else commented on that tweet and was like, "Nah, them Atlanta RICO laws coming to New York or something."
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, like, listen, a lot of people are avoiding certain things. And I'm not saying that none of this stuff is true. Like, hey, Fat Joe's probably telling his truth. And of course, that was according to CNN. He was being interviewed by CNN. And it was like they landed on that subject because they were talking about how Young Thug's lyrics were being used against him in the court of law. Like they that became a topic, and who better to ask than another rapper who rapped about doing certain things.
Right.
Now, one thing that I know for sure, like this was a song, a very popular song off of one of Fat Joe's albums from back in the day. It was Jose. Of course, it's spelled out the name Jose, which is his name. And he made it an acronym. It stood for Jealous One Still Envy. Right. One song off of that album was called, I think it was called like My Lifestyle. Right. And I remember it from middle school because people used to sing it in middle school, like when we were kids. And then even afterwards, like years later, Fabulous sampled it and made it another song, that it was like, y'all want to live my lifestyle. Never seen a brick, never seen a crack house. Want to roll with the Dawn, bring the Max out, bring it on, and I'm going to show you gangster. Now, you mean to tell me, now, of course, before I even get into that, like those aren't the only like Fat Joe lyrics that talk about anything about bricks or like, Mac 10s, Mac 11s, whatever the case may be, like, or just like burners, period. Like those aren't the only Fat Joe lyrics that ever talk about stuff like that. But you mean to tell me that you really lying at 95% of your rhymes? Like that song, I think, was essentially I don't know if that song was essentially like around another song that he wrote that was also on the album. It might have played before or might have played after, but there was another song on that same album that's called He's Not Real. And Prospect and Remy Ma were both on that song. Prospect was another dude that was on Terror Squad back in the day, right? They were both on that song. And they were talking about, I don't want to look up the lyrics, but off the top of my head, it was like, always seemed like he holding guns but never held steel. He's all right, but he's not real. Want to rap about something, but he act like he kill. He's all right, but he's not real. Like I may be butchering the song. I'm trying to go off of memory here, but essentially they were just talking about people fronting in the words that they said, people fronting in the songs that they put out. And you mean to tell me years later you're going to admit to lying in 95% of your rhymes? I don't know, man. I think these charges that everybody's getting brought up on are scaring a lot of these rappers.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, you got to realize rap is an art, so they make up a lot of stuff too at the same time. So I can believe that they made some of the stuff up. Look at Future. Future's a prime example. Future talks about drugs. Future doesn't take drugs. He promotes it. So
that's a good point. I can honestly say I don't really listen to Future's music, so I mean I couldn't really argue with you on that, even if I tried.
Trust me, he has said it, and Nicki Minaj called him out too as well.
Okay.
He promotes some rap about things that he don't do. So I can believe it that, some of the things that he says is not true, but maybe all of it can't be not true. 'Cause some of the art comes from a inner place. Like I can't talk about bricks. I can only talk about bricks so much, but it's like I'm getting it from a movie.
Right.
You're right. Like I'm drawing it from a movie. I think you have to draw that stuff from a certain place. So I do think some of that is probably rooted in what they may have saw. They might have not done it, but they might have saw some of the stuff. So some of it is coming from real life experiences, but a lot of it probably is just art, I would say. But I'm not a rapper though. So I don't know. What do I know?
Okay. Hey, I mean, points were made, man. I could see that. I could really understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it was kind of crazy, like hearing that stuff. And of course, as kids, like we used to look up to, rappers like this and listen to their music, be like, yo, they live a life that we never lived. And, that's one of the reasons why we gravitated towards them so much. And was like, yo, this rapper moved weight, or this rapper did this rapper did that. And, that was one of the reasons that like we kind of looked up to them and gave them that street cred. Like, I don't know if you or anybody who's listening or watching knows this, but like a lot of hood heroes from back in the day were either athletes or musicians. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, even with us, like we're not from the hood, But like in the culture, a lot of like, okay, mostly little boys growing up, if they can't decide, what they want to be in life when they, when they get older, a lot of us look to want to be athletes or rappers, right? Because we see the athletes getting the fast money. We see the LeBron James. We see the Michael Jordans. We see the Kobe Bryants, and all the other legends who've played ball. And we're just like, yo, if they can do it, so can we. But like realistically speaking, it's tough. Like that stuff ain't easy. It ain't easy to make the league.
That's right.
So what's the next best thing? We got to try to come up with some rhymes. We got to come up with some bars, right? Because rap sells. And no matter what, like you look at a lot of artists today, you don't even have to be lyrically gifted. All you have to have is a hot track and maybe some catchy words that are attached to it. You got a hit on your hands, you're going to get money.
Yeah, that's true. You ain't lying. You're right.
So yeah, man, a lot of people, a lot of young people, a lot of children, especially, like they look up to these rappers and they just believe in every word that they saying. But something like this, like what Fat Joe kind of said, put things into perspective. There's a lot of y'all out there that are capping. Because I know for a fact some people that I grew up with who wanted to try to start rapping, they was capping before they was even attempting to get signed anywhere. Like before anybody paid them to cap, they was capping.
You can't take all of it true. Don't take it all as true. So, but they also could be trying to, evade that RICO stuff. So, who knows, man? Who knows? I'm not mad at it if they are.
I'm not mad at it either because, getting hit with a RICO from what we've seen.
Scary, bro.
It is scary, bro. That's definitely like, that's no joke, man.
Nah, man. At all. You see Young Thug, bro? He's in there, man. So, y'all be careful.
For real. Speaking of cat, and this isn't something that like, I know to be sure for true because I haven't really done too much research on this. Like I started listening to the episode, but I haven't listened to it in full as of this recording because the episode is like 3 hours long. But shout out to Cam Newton and his podcast, Funky Friday with Cam Newton. Recently, he had Charleston White on the show, and from what I've seen and heard so far, it was pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Anytime Charleston White is like on podcasts and stuff like that, it's just always, I don't want to say insightful, but it gets the people going, for lack of a better word.
That's a fact.
I remember one video that I made over the summer was a reaction to Charleston White and Brittany Renner being on a podcast together. And Brittany's antics on that podcast with Charleston have gone viral.
Right.
So that alone just kind of shows me, anytime Charleston gets invited to a podcast, things could potentially get out of hand. But it definitely gets views. It definitely gets people talking. It definitely gets people listening. So this was just one clip that was pointed out to me from the podcast episode, and it made me actually want to watch the full thing. So definitely shout out to the Roll Up Podcast because he sent me this. And it was pretty interesting. So check this out. Let's hear what Charleston White had to say, and we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Because when I wasn't talking like that, wearing a bow tie, y'all wasn't paying me no attention. And I was going to the Supreme Court, changing laws and legislations in this country. I was working with over 50 U.S. congressional members, from Ted Cruz to Mark Rubio, Senator John Cornyn. I was on the front page of the American Bar Association Journal. I had done a study with News 21, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Y'all wasn't paying attention then. So, nigga, I gave y'all what y'all want. A ignorant motherfucker nigga that talk like them rappers. Now y'all listening. Now y'all paying attention, huh? I got y'all attention. Checkmate. Now let me tell y'all what y'all need to hear. We f***ed up as a race of people since y'all so caught up into my delivery. 5% of children now are catching HIV from ages 13 to 21. What y'all worried about? 85% of the new chlamydia, all the new cases are teenagers. What y'all so caught up about? Nigga, only 35% of most kids in inner cities can read on or above their grade level. What the f*** are y'all talking about? These kids can't read.
So to that, I will say he does raise a good point about how some people, like they don't care when you kind of like on that straight and narrow, right? Or even appearing to be on the straight and narrow and just trying to get news across. But when you switch things up, when you get a little ignorant, that's when you can catch some people's attention. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, regarding everything that's been going on, especially how some of these rappers are avoiding RICOs. Like, I look at Fat Joe. I've seen, Fat Joe in certain instances being the family man that he is. You know what I'm saying? He's married. I know he at least has a son, and his son is special needs. And Fat Joe seems to be a caring family man. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. But then, of course, you look at Fat Joe the rapper, not Fat Joe the person, and you see a whole different other lifestyle.
Right.
But then, of course, going back to the whole Charleston White situation, I did not even know who Charleston White was until he started popping up on other people's platforms. Kind of like after he did this 180 and changed his look, his appearance, his speech.
Yep.
And then he really caught people's attention, because he definitely caught my attention with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who's this Charleston White guy? Like, what is he talking about? Who is this cat?
Made a name for himself.
He did. So first things first, I wanted to ask you, brother, what does that say about the community, our community? Like, why don't we like to listen to, for the most part, of course, it's not all people, obviously, but why don't we as a collective typically like listening to people who seem to be on the straight and narrow, who may potentially giving corny vibes or whatever the case may be, who may seem like they're not hood enough, they're not ratchet enough, they're not like they don't bring the drama. You know what I'm saying? Why don't we gravitate towards those people as much as we do people who actually bring the drama?
That's a good question. I don't know if there's one answer, but I mean, if I can give you an answer, I just think that those people are not ready to elevate. One of the things that I'm noticing just being on an entrepreneurship journey is that there are certain type of rooms and environments that you don't even know exist until you put yourself in that type of environment. So I think that when it comes time to certain people and certain things, we are programmed to see certain things every day that influence us, that we might not then put our mind on other things. So I often learn that environment beats willpower. And I think that, unfortunately, in our community, we are pumped with a lot of low vibrating things, such as, we got alcohol, we got bad foods, we got poor entertainment, we got a bunch of things that just really don't serve us intellectually, that will make us heightened in any way. So therefore, when we meet someone who comes around that is talking different, that trying to promote something different, they don't have the capacity to even receive it, or it looks at as like, that's lame, get away from me, we don't want to hear that. So I think that that's one of the reasons why.
Okay, I can agree with you on all of that, to be honest. I'm just thinking of like our personal journey, our personal life, like what we do here with the podcast. I can't lie and say that I don't look at the numbers anytime I upload a podcast episode, or anytime I edit a clip or several clips and put it on Instagram or put it on TikTok or Twitter even. I can't lie and say that I don't look at the analytics when I upload content, because I do. And I notice, now I will say this, because I kind of want to get ahead of myself and say I understand comparison is the thief of joy. And I try my hardest not to compare what we have going on our show to other podcasts that are out there right now. But I can't lie and say that it doesn't get to me sometimes when I look at other podcasts who are talking about certain low vibrational topics or low vibrational, having those conversations, and they go viral. Like, yeah, we went viral for one video. Cool. I love it. You know what I'm saying? That was great. But it definitely in that video, I wanted to raise awareness about something. I wanted to have a conversation with the people. And I'm sure that, I can't speak for everybody else who has a podcast or has a platform, but I'm sure that a lot of the other creators who do put out these type of conversations that go viral, they may also be trying to raise awareness or have certain conversations that bring situations to light. So I can't say that they're just, putting out low vibrational content just for the cash grab because they know they're going to get views. They know they're going to get comments. They know they're going to get interaction on that content that they put out.
Right.
But it does kind of bug me sometimes when I look at other content creators who will just have like a couple guys on the show and a whole bunch of girls. And these girls are like OF models, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Like they're selling something and it starts with an S and ends with an X. You feel me? And then they're just having conversations with these women and it's not anything really productive. They may be trying to get somewhere with the conversation, but the conversation is just like literally the same every time you turn around. And it gets to the point to where I look at some of the comment sections on a lot of these videos and it's like, are we not tired of hearing the same thing over and over again? You know, in the beginning of the episode, we talked about we talked about the event that we went to with April and Chanel, you know, that they were hosting and the coffee tasting and the people who we met there. I definitely want to say one of the young ladies that April introduced me to while we were there, we certainly had a conversation about a lot of the podcasts that are out right now and the stuff that they talk about. And it's like, it's always the same stuff over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Like, when are we going to hear something different? But for some reason, it's like you and I, Mike, we dare to be different when it comes to podcasting. We don't necessarily have a whole bunch of girls around our table whenever we, you know, sit and talk to women. We don't necessarily have a whole bunch of women around our table. We don't necessarily talk to women who, you know, who do OF, you know, who put provocative videos out and stuff like that. And just try to have conversations with them about relationships and dating, like the same conversations over and over and over again. We don't do that.
Right.
We dare to be different. We dare to talk to a lot of young men and teach them about certain things that you and I may have gone through and stuff that they can learn from us. Like, hey, this is what you either should do or shouldn't do, or even give certain examples of people. Like for this episode, Diddy or Young Thug, Fat Joe, French Montana, anything that these brothers have gone through, we tell other young brothers who listen to us to not only learn from our mistakes, but to learn from their mistakes as well. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still, our content, and this is not like me complaining at all, but our content definitely does not do the same type of numbers that a lot of other content that may be considered like repetitive or tiresome or low vibrational would put out. Like we don't match that type of content. We don't match that format. Mm-hmm. And I've actually even been told by a couple of ladies, including you know, one of the young ladies that I met at the networking event with Flew Here, Grew Here podcast. She was saying that, you know, maybe I might need to try to, you know, dibble and dabble a little bit in some of those, you know, conversations just to kind of get eyes on us.
Right.
And that's that's something I kind of try to do with the YouTube videos. And that's probably one of the reasons why that one video went viral. Mm-hmm. Like, I wasn't trying to push the limits at all. I just really wanted to have a conversation and use other people's examples to kind of like have that conversation.
Right.
But definitely, man, like I want us to really think as a people, as a culture, like why we may gravitate more towards something that is drama filled or low vibrational, as you put it, instead of you know, gravitating towards something that could potentially elevate you or change your life or impact your life in a good way, a positive way.
Environment, bro, environment, and you gotta want to change. You gotta be sick and tired of being sick and tired. So clearly, people ain't sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Bruh.
Nah, I really don't know, bro. That is something that we need to figure out, though.
So that's something I will ask the audience, something that I will ask the people, you know, definitely. For those of y'all who are watching this on YouTube or may see this clip on Instagram, please comment down below. Let us know why. Like, what is, like, what grabs your attention? What is it about low vibrational content or content that is so repetitive that we see and hear on every single platform? What is it about that content that catches your attention so much? Because I've noticed some people in the comment section, they're like, are we not tired of hearing the same thing over and over and over again? It's a very small amount of people that say stuff like that. But still, like, I think we don't realize that, you know, even commenting stuff like that on these videos actually still helps with the engagement of said video. It still helps with pushing that video through the algorithm. You know, Instagram's algorithm, TikTok's algorithm will see that people are engaging with this content, likes, comments, shares, saves, whatever the case may be. And they're like, oh, people must gravitate towards this. Even if every single comment on under that specific video was like, yo, let's talk about something different. I'm tired of hearing this. Let's move on. Who's up next? Like, I'm tired of this content creator. I'm tired of this podcast. Like, can we do this instead of listening to the same thing over and over again? Like, even if every single comment was just like that, you are still engaging with that content and pushing it out through the algorithm, gaining it more views, more attention, more people to like it and comment on it, and so on and so forth.
That's a fact.
It's just mind blowing, man. It kind of, I don't want to say I'm losing sleep over it, because I'm definitely not, but it just kind of blows my mind. It kind of like really puzzles me that this is the case. Because like me being a content creator, me being a podcaster, I definitely do my best to support all forms of content, especially if it's something that's different than what we're used to seeing and hearing, because I believe that, you know, those creators need the push. Like, they need to be put out there in the forefront. They need to be placed in the algorithm and kind of like go viral, so to speak, you know, so more people can hear what it is that they have to say.
No, I do agree. I mean, I don't have much on this topic. I mean, I just know it's the environment. I feel like it's the environment. So I don't know, bro. I pray for our people. So, but you gotta want it for yourself. Got to want it for yourself.
Fair enough. I don't know, man. I just know that change is definitely necessary from everybody that's been going through what they're going through with all these RICO cases and you know, just court cases being brought up on them, whether it's civil or criminal. Something's got to change, man.
We got to be the change. Well, we can start to be the change, but that's a start.
But how much of a start do we need, bro? Like, yeah, we're impacting certain people, but when are we going to impact more?
That's not up to us. I mean, our job is just to do what we can do. We can always think more, but we're human. So that's what we got to leave it up to God. That's it. I'm only meant to impact certain people. Those people will impact other people. So that's my focus.
Okay. So you're going to start editing more clips, right?
No. I said impact. So I impact with my words, not really with my editing skills. That's you. That's where your gift is at. My gift is in the speaking realm.
God,
Bruh.
Listen, I don't know, man.
Bruh.
I do what I can, but you know.
Man, you do it, bro. You don't even do what you can. You literally do it. Like, you're doing it. You went viral, bro. I got to continue to remind you this. 165,000 people. Do you know how many people that is?
165,000 people is 165,000. Like
that's like that's the Georgia Dome filled up like twice. Because I think the Georgia Dome is like maxed out at like 60 or something like that.
Now we talking about the Georgia Dome. We talking about Mercedes-Benz.
No, I'm talking about the Dome.
The Georgia Dome.
Yeah,
okay.
Like the old Dome. Yeah. Dang, that's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people because
think about the Dome, bro. How big that was.
I get it. I just wanted to raise that question. I just wanted to have that conversation. I wanted to get, of course, people who are listening to us to think as well.
Yeah.
Let's think before we react, because again, we'll look at certain content online and it's just like, yo, we got to comment on it. We got to like it. We got to share. We got to subscribe. We got to, you know, even if we're talking against it, if we're speaking against it, it's still giving the push that these creators need to keep making that same content. They're like, oh, well, this went viral. Let me keep making videos that are just like that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It just shows we've gotten away from art. So, I don't know, bro. I pray for our people. Pray for the direction that we headed in. That's all.
So, with that being said, hopefully you guys took something away from this episode. I know sometimes I can go in a rant, but, you know, I definitely want to make sure that what I have to say is said. And I want to make sure that those of you guys who are listening and watching are actually paying attention to what was said. And, you know, I wanted to make sure that I raise awareness some way, shape or form so that you guys can understand where it is that we're coming from, understand where it is that we could all potentially go as far as the type of people we support, the type of content that we support, and the type of people, or not even just the people, but the type of messages that are out there that we actually need to listen to. If we're tired of hearing the same thing over and over and over again, delivered by the same type of people over and over and over again, what should we do differently? Just think about that.
Maybe we'll have like a group discussion about this too. I think getting some other opinions on it, maybe we can come up with a, I don't know, some type of solution.
More solution-based content coming soon.
That's a fact. That's how you create wealth, create solutions.
So I'm with that.
For sure.
And not even just wealth into my pockets, but, wealth of the mind.
Yes. That's
me? Wealth of the mind. That's what Mike meant.
Yes. That's actually exactly what I meant. But also in the pocket. A little pocket change. I ain't mad at that.
Hey, neither am I, man. I would love to have wealth of the pockets so I don't have to worry about working a 9 to 5.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, man, you have anything else you want to say for the people before we get out of here?
Ah, man. I don't, bro. I don't. I feel like you giving them enough right now to like really think about and to put their mind in a direction, hopefully to make some change, because that's what we're about, bro. So, what about you?
I said a lot. I think I'm done. I really think I'm done. I've said a lot already.
Nah, for real though, man. Like I said, I agree with what you were saying. So I think with that enough is it's like, yo, let's make a change in that area and direction. So I agree with you.
Okay. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, again,
stay tuned for the giveaway, man. We're giving away $50,000 this year, y'all.
Who's we?
$50,000, y'all.
No. We not skating past that. Who is we?
We just want to make sure that we.
I didn't say anything about that.
Well,
I am not doing any support. Listen, I'm gonna cut his mic real quick.
To the bruh.
Listen, I said nothing about giving away $50K at all. That is not on me. I don't have $50K to give away to anybody at the moment. That is strictly him. He is still going. I don't know if you can hear him because his mic is cut off, but he might be able to pick up feedback on my mic. I'm not giving away $50,000. I don't know what he's talking about. So in a little bit, I will cut his mic back on when he's not talking that foolishness. I don't have that type of bread. He's still going. So I'm just going to say we're going to end the video right here, right now. We greatly appreciate you for tapping in and listening. Yo, I'm trying to close out the show.
So just make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll pick a lucky winner out.
All right, he's going back on mute. So with that being said, we cannot leave without saying,
where you are today
is a residual outcome of the thoughts
you had in the past.
Just like that.
Don't forget the giveaway.
We're not doing a giveaway. Okay, you're going back on mute.
Hate.
Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. Peace.